Okay, as you guys know, I don't really do a lot of political stuff. I don't really do that, but this is an exception. I can't seem to escape this political crap. This this election. So we're gonna get into this. Personally, I vote for Trump, but my reasoning is because Hillary is corrupt as hell. I mean, anyone knows that you don't just erase that many emails on an email server. Why would you have a private email server in the first place if you're a government official? And second of all, why are there so many missing records? I mean, if there was, like, whatever, personal data, why would you do this? Why would you have to erase it? I mean, it's not important. I mean, freak. You don't erase stuff or wipe drives unless you've got something to hide. I mean, that's just the whole purpose behind this. I mean, why are you going to trust somebody in president that erased all their emails on a private server? Come on. I mean, really. Now also, look at this. She wants to install a no-fly zone in Syria. Great. That's just perfect. Many people have said this could start a war with Russia. That's what we need right now. Sure, on top of our economy failing, which it's probably going to fail the next year or so. Maybe less, depending on. I mean, let's face it. We already have so much crap going on right now. It's just, we don't need Hillary to add to the problems. I mean, yes, Trump maybe has problems with his taxes, but if we were to look at other businessmen that were rich, we probably would find discrepancies in their tax collecting as well. If we look closely, we could probably find a lot of people who took advantage of the system. So Trump is not the only one doing this. I mean, if you look at Hillary also, look at her campaign contributions, like from the Middle East, or let's say the Clinton Foundation, or all the different things she's been involved in the last 10 or 20 years, all the scandals. I mean, this stuff is crazy. I mean, we're going to vote this person into president. We should at least consider where they've been, especially Hillary. I mean, yeah, we got Trump. Trump has problems. Everybody's got problems. But Hillary has got really big problems. We look at Benghazi. We look at the email scandal. I mean, this stuff, to me, is not trustworthy behavior. I mean, and if you consider this trustworthy behavior, then I think you should go consider being a criminal, because, firstly, that's what it is. I mean, you're hiding the fact that you did something wrong. I mean, come on now. That's not right in anyone's vocabulary. And maybe people might disagree with me, and I've heard all this argument about she has so much experience. Great. The experience that I've seen her portray over all these years has been that of deny, deny, deny. And whenever she gets into a debate where somebody points out an actual flaw of hers, she will basically point the finger back at them and say, hey, you have this problem. She never really answers the question. You know, this is the problem with her, is to misdirect or redirect the question. So basically, she'll never really answer anything. And if you've looked at all of her press stuff, which I've done over the last couple of days and research, you'll see that this woman is a nefarious liar. She lies all the time. Or she doesn't state anything. She omits the truth. She just points it to something else that the other candidate did wrong, which basically causes controversy and makes people ignore what her problem is, which is exactly what she's doing, might I add. That she's basically focused on Trump's problems instead of addressing her own problems. Instead of all the problems that she has and all this email scandal, all that, instead of answering the question, did she do this? Did she not do this? You know, she said, oh yeah, well, you know, we want to know what they know. I mean, come on, you wrote the emails. You had the server for years. You don't know what the hell was on it. Tell me another lie, you know? Come on, man. That's just stupid shit. Really stupid. If you really don't know what was on your email server and you did think that you did something wrong by erasing it, Erasing your server, yeah, sure, hand the file. We've cooperated with the FBI. Yeah, I could do the same thing. I could erase my hard drives and hand it to them if I was investigated. What does that prove? Nothing. It doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove that she was right or wrong. To be honest with you, it just makes her look guilty. Because you don't erase your fucking server and then hand it to the FBI. Oh yeah, we're clean. We're perfectly squeaky clean. We don't have any problems. But yet, I erase my emails. And I understand people erase their emails from time to time. They erase emails. That's understandable. But, I mean, 30,000 emails, 40,000, however many emails it is, you don't think that if you're a government official using a private server, that doesn't run a red flag for somebody? Because to me, that does. I mean, that's just... You don't do that unless you're trying to get away with something, because they archive records if you have an actual government email address on a government server. They archive that stuff. So if you did something wrong, they're going to go pull it back up because they don't erase that stuff. Well, in this case, it bypassed that scenario by having a server at her house. She could erase it, and then there would be no trace of whatever she did. You know, and if she's claiming that it was nothing, then produce the stuff and let everybody else go through it. You know, produce it for the public to read. She's not going to do that. Or produce... I mean, if there's non-classified material in there, then what are you worried about? Why did you erase it in the first place? I just don't understand that logic. You don't erase everything unless you're trying to hide something from the public, from the government. You just don't do this. I mean, this is not... This whole behavior of hers, and it just goes back further and further. I mean, we go back to when she was... What was it? President? First Lady. And she did stuff that was bad then. I mean, look at all of this corruption that she's had over the last 20 years. And I heard this argument that, hey, you know, she has all this experience. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, but she's been through so many scandals. She's done so much shit. And she's covered up so much crap that she couldn't get in trouble. So this sounds like a lady that knows how to cover shit up and has done it again to evade getting arrested, thrown in jail, and legal repercussions for her actions. She knows how to do this stuff. So if you guys think that this is just some classic example of, oh yeah, somebody just erased their emails, this is just... This whole bullshit, it doesn't even have to do with just the emails. It has to do with her in general being a bad candidate. And even though I don't always like everything that Donald Trump says, not everything, but I do agree that there needs to be some type of change in this United States. We are freaking in debt to our eyeballs because we have done things so messed up. And the system is so corrupt. It's beginning to take effect on every part of our lives. And at some point, it will be... We cannot let it keep going. We cannot continue to let the corruption win in our system. If we do, we will have we'll eventually have no rights. And when that happens, what can I say? I told you so. I hope that doesn't happen, but that's what it's going down to. I mean, if we don't do something and change the world and try to get rights back and stop politicians from being corrupt, they're going to be corrupt. If we don't purge the system of corrupt politicians, lawyers, judges, law enforcement, then our lives are going to be controlled by these corrupt people. And sooner or later, we won't have a word to say anymore. We will have no rights. Most of us will be locked up. We will be a slave to corporations, a slave to money. I mean, all this stuff is coming to be, and if we don't do something about it, then our children will suffer. We will suffer later on in our lives for the decisions that we make now. So this is not just about an election. It's about morals. It's about the politics and how corrupt the system is. And if you don't believe it's fucking corrupt, then somebody needs to smack you with a fucking sledgehammer, because there's so many different things that are messed up in our country. And don't give me the whole speech of like, hey, I can't do anything about it, because that's incorrect. Everyone can do something about it. But people choose not to because they're either afraid of the government, afraid of something. You know, they're afraid of what their peers might think of them. I could care less what my peers think of me, to be honest. I'm going to do the right thing no matter what. And if that means people want to yell and scream at me for being a voice of reason or trying to tell people, hey, there's a problem, we need to fix it, then so be it, you know? It's just really stupid. I was part of the Occupy Wall Street movement in San Antonio. So let's just say this. It's freaking... I've seen some stuff. And truth be told, this political campaign this year is probably one of the most influential campaigns I have ever seen in my life. One of. And I'm only 30 years old. I mean, there are plenty of other ones. But this is just like, the country's going downhill. We add Clinton into the office. We're going to have problems. We are going to have problems. Trump, well, at least he's got some business sense. And hopefully he'll get things right. Because he seems to have some good things in his opinion. And he could actually increase our economy. Despite the fact that everyone, you know, he may have some pretty interesting opinions now and then. And, you know, sometimes they're a bit much. But, you know, in all, if the guy gets things done and makes the country a better place, why in the fuck are you going to vote for a woman that is corrupt as hell? I mean, all freaking Trump has really done, in my opinion, is basically cheat on his taxes. If we look at that, cheating on his taxes. How many other corporations and big businesses do this shit? Yes, that is not exactly trustworthy, but if we compare it to Hillary Clinton and all the different corrupt and all the different, what we call it? All the scandals that she's been involved in for so long. And, I mean, look at Benghazi. I mean, hell, look at Benghazi. Look at the emails. Look at, what was it? Whitegate or Watergate? I'm trying to remember what it was. I mean, I remember the circumstance around it. It was about the, can't quite remember it right now. I had watched it the other day and made sure that it was legitimate. But truth be told, there are a lot of interesting things in Hillary Clinton's past and her politics and everything else that have either cost people lives, lied, manipulated, all sorts of different things. I mean, if you look at, and you compare that to maybe $1 billion of getting around tax laws, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other businesses that have done the same. And Hillary probably has leveraged some of the financial laws dealing with her foundation. I mean, look at all the campaign contributions. Isn't that illegal in itself to take contributions from people? But she's been proven to do this. But yet nobody focuses on this matter. That's the crazy thing about this, is everybody wants to demonize Trump because of what he says, but Hillary does all this stuff. She doesn't say stuff, she just does stuff that's bad. Now, I'd rather have somebody say stuff than do stuff. Yeah, big deal. Let's just face it. I would rather go with Trump. At least he's less corrupt than freaking Hillary. Because Hillary is fucking corrupt as hell. And if she gets into office, God help us. We're already headed down the tube, and it'll just make it go a lot faster. With Trump, there's no telling. It could get better, could stay the same. Hopefully, I'm thinking it'll get a little bit better. But then again, the Democrats might get all in a hissy fit if he does happen to win this election. Then they'll get into a tissy fit and be like, "Yeah, he rigged it." And then if she wins, then same thing. Trump will say that it's rigged. Probably is, to be honest with you. But it's just going to be a downhill spiral. And this is my take on politics. Everything's corrupt. In my opinion, the government is corrupt. From my personal experience and seeing some of the shit and being accused of things I didn't do and ended up going to jail for them, yeah, I would really, really don't like the government at this point in time. So, this is my personal opinion, and if you don't like it, big deal, okay? Get over it. This is my opinion. Alright? But there are facts that back up some things that I said. So it's not like I'm standing there and saying, hey, blah, 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 without any proof, without any evidence. I mean, I'm basing this on stuff that has happened to myself and what has happened in the political campaigns, all the stuff that Hillary's done. I mean, I haven't gotten much into Trump's besides the fact of the tax thing, because I can't really remember much besides maybe a few statements that he's said and maybe a few actions that he's done, mainly towards women. And I'm not saying that that's 100% nice, but, I mean, you still have women supporting him, so there's got to be something going on here I mean, sometimes it's just what it is. It is what it is. You can choose to vote Hillary or Trump. I personally would vote Trump. That's my personal opinion. I want to vote Trump. I'm going to vote Trump. And that's that.